Good morning, Namaskar. My name is Bharatesh Suvarna, and I'm the principal coach at Inspiring Evolution. And I have with me Baldeep Kaur, who is the founder and CEO of Inspiring Evolution. She is also the positive psychology coach. Um, we spoke about coaching myths during our last session, and that was more related to individuals. Now we are touching upon something different. It's more related to organization. It's more related to leadership. So that is what we're going to talk, Baldeep. Uh, I think, Baldeep, the bigger question that I see coming from a lot of organization when we approach them is this coaching sessions are only for senior leadership role or senior management roles, and it is not necessary the rest of the guys in the organization should go through or should undergo a coaching session as such. What's your take in it? I mean, do you think so that's applicable? Is that a myth out here?
Well, it is a myth because coaching is not about has nothing to do with your designation and what is your seniority in the organization. It is more about what are the needs, right? So, for example, if there is a new batch of kids right out from college who are entering your organization, right? And there's a lot of newness that they're exposed to. There are a lot of changes that happen in their life, personally and professionally. There are a lot of expectations from them as well. So there's stress, there's newness, there's change, there's a lot to really handle. Right? You're just beginning your career, you don't really know what's happening and all of that. Even there, a coach can really help them a lot to help them understand the organization's culture, to help them understand, what really happens in the first year, what should be the expectations, what are their good, what are the things that they need to work upon, so that the adjustment period is much, much lesser than what it usually is. How does that help the organization? Obviously, if the person remains in a positive mindset and doesn't get too affected by the stress and the newness of the environment, of course, he would get productive very quickly, and he'll be able to adjust to the new environment very quickly and start delivering very, very quickly, right? Which is exactly what any organization wants. That once a person has joined, a team has joined an organization, he starts delivering as soon as possible. So that's one need that's there. A second need that I have come across a lot, and I've coached a lot of people on that as well, is that we all reach that phase in our career where suddenly now we are put into a strategic role. Okay, we're not the supervisor, we're just not into operations anymore. Now we're leading a team, and that happens just like that. Within a few years, you reach that space when once you're into that middle management where now you are leading a team, giving more inputs from a strategic perspective. So that shift, I've seen a lot of people struggle with that because they're so used to being the operations person that they find it very difficult to really get into that managerial and that strategic role. That's another need, which is where a coach can really pitch in and help a lot to have that person make that shift, make that mental shift, make that emotional shift, make that communication level shift. That's important. And leadership coaching anyway is always there, right? But what I'm trying to say here is it's not so much about where you are in the organization, which vertical you are, what level you are, what role do you play. It's more about understanding needs and then creating specific coaching programs that can cater to those specific needs.
No, I completely agree with you there. I have often seen that as individuals, we at times bring in our emotions, and we really don't know how to handle situations very well. And this happens at every stage, whether you are on a leadership level or whether you are as an employee, as a subordinate level. Yeah. You tend to get depressed because of a situation, and rather than being in control, you're actually getting influenced by it. And I think this is where coaching would really help individuals, stating how we can actually have self-control. So it is not necessarily, it has to be only for leadership level. That's what my feeling is also.
Yeah, true. So for example, we've worked with certain organizations and also on a one-on-one level. I will give you an example where this female, extremely intelligent, extremely, from top universities and all of that, just starting work. Her problem basically was she did not really have, the confidence to really speak up in a meeting. She would have great ideas, but she would say, Baldeep, till I just gather the courage to speak, the meeting is over. Or someone else has already spoken that, right? Has given that, given a similar perspective. So I don't know, and that's really affecting my confidence because it's happening to me on a daily level. And now it's reached a stage where my manager gave me a review that gave me a feedback that you don't really speak up in the meetings. What is it? Is it that you don't really have anything to share, or is it that where is the problem? So as a coach, I helped her tackle that because it can sound as a very small level problem, but eventually it really affects the person's self-esteem and self-confidence, and also how others perceive her, because they don't know that she's full of ideas. They think maybe she doesn't have any ideas. She doesn't have anything to contribute, right? So something as simple as that can also be tackled through coaching. So like I said, it has nothing to do with where you are in the organization. It is to do with really a coach needs to understand what are the specific problems that person is going through, and then helping her get through, the entire, create that change for themselves.
The other question that I have for you, Baldeep, is people normally feel, and we can talk about leadership here, that they can only be coached when the coach really knows their vertical very well. So if I'm an industrialist and the coach doesn't know anything about my industry, I don't think so the coach can actually coach me. To what extent can that be true?
Okay. So it depends on who are you hiring. Are you hiring a strategy coach? Are you hiring a business coach? If you're hiring a strategy coach, business coach, whose job is to ensure that your business grows in a certain level or whatever it is, then of course you need somebody who's from your vertical, right? But if you're hiring a leadership coach, executive coach, life coach, relationship coach, or mindset coach, or any of the other coaches, then no, it's not important for a leadership coach and executive coach to know your vertical, because then they're not there to know your vertical. They're there to know you. They are there to help you really, handle your journey better, progress better, and help you understand where are you struggling. So I am working with you. I'm not here to tell you how to do your job better, because you definitely know that already. I am working on you to help you deliver better, handle the challenges that are coming your way better, bring your best self to work every day. That is what my job is. So I need to know you. Having said that, coaching is a very personal journey. So when you start with the journey, of course, you get to know a lot more about the person's work as well, right? Of course, you would know that. But I always tell, for example, I'm coaching a few people who are from the steel industry. I don't know much about, how do you make steel and all of that, but that's not my job. My job is to ensure that the person I'm coaching is leading his team properly, is working on his own limitations well, knows what his strengths are. He's bringing that to work every day. For example, currently, the entire group is going through a lot of stress because the entire industry is going through a lot of stress because of what's happening because of COVID-19 and everything. So how are they really dealing with it? I can't really tell them, okay, this is how you need to operate a steel plant, but I can tell you how can you operate this, so that when you are there, you are totally prepared mentally, because the game is played here eventually, right?
Absolutely.
So they have to be prepared here. So no, it's not an essential.
Wow. Okay. So I think two of the major questions that's there we have answered, and I hope it has actually helped our viewers. Any closing statement?
Yeah, sure. I have one more thing that I want to talk about is that there are times, especially in B2B, when people come to us that, okay, this is the problem and this is how we want it to be solved. So can we do a workshop around it? I want people to really understand that you don't go to a doctor and tell them, okay, these are my symptoms. I think I have this fever. Can you please give me this medicine? So when you're whenever you are discussing with any L&D consultant or any L&D company, tell them what are your problems, what are the issues that the team is facing, what are the end results that you would want out of the engagement, and let them design it for you. Because there's certain things that can be delivered only through coaching. I have to work with the person on a one-on-one basis, and there's certain learnings that can happen and need to happen at a group level, because these are more team level learnings. that need to be delivered. All right. So not everything can be delivered through workshop. Not every learning objective can be delivered through a coaching engagement. It always has to be a mix of both. Right. So don't go with the preconceived notions that, oh, I want to do a workshop. Can I just make all the entire team sit in one room and let's get done with it in 2 days or not? You're just wasting your time, your money, your energy. And the best way to always tackle any kind of challenge or opportunities that your team is facing is to have a more long-term objective when it comes to L&D, learning and development, and training and development. So go with your problems, let them design a program for you and implement that, rather than telling them, I just need a workshop, I just need a coaching, I just need this. It's not going to really help you in the long
I completely agree with you on that. And I'm sure, viewers who are watching us will definitely take their learning from here. Baldeep, thanks a lot. It was wonderful chatting with you. And I'm sure our viewers also have, enjoyed the session. We'll catch up again, friends, in our coming week. And I'm sure you're going to learn a lot about coaching going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and happy evolving.
Happy evolving.